Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight. Because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them. And because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders being able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est autiste-moi, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as mon bien de moi avec moi, en ce moment, on va battre au moins, néo. Mon temps d'hier, t'as mon mouillé, on s'est abattu pour moi, il pleure. Avec la locale,
doing anything that people get amended. And with me from 2005 to date, we're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jobai, bivito nomba, martis mo feyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou si tu connais tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassen de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les deux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we'll prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children to eat, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank you again for tuning in to Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we're having some technical issue here as we try to resolve that. But we want to thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm audible. This is something that I'm hoping to be able to resolve here, but all my system is Houston. Folks, Samson Tour, well, just bear with me here. Just bear with me. Let me. Again, folks, Samson Tour, Liberian Public Radio. Please share this video as much as you can. Please share as much as you can. Okay. All right, folks. Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us together. Lord, we say thank you for guiding us. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless all of us. We ask you to bless the Republic of Liberia, bless the leaders of the Republic of Liberia as the president is traveling from one county to another. Lord, we put the president in your hand. As the opposition leader is also traveling from one place to another, we put the opposition in your hands. My God, your hands are so big that it's covered all of us. We ask you to continue to protect, guide, and help us with your blessing. Election is very, very close, and there's the drumbeat that is all over this place. Help us guide the process. we will continue to put this whole process in your hands. We will continue to put it in the entire country, the Liberia and its people, in your hands. Because I think you're the only person that can help us. We want to ask you to please guide us. Guide us, all of us, and protect us. Help us that we don't go through anything. You have the power to do that. And I'm asking you, I'm praying to you to exhibit the power once more. Thank you. Lord, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, folks. So tonight's program, let me first of all welcome all of you here. Let me welcome all of you folks, because it's very important we do these things. First of all, let me just say to many of you that are watching, and we appreciate every time you come on. It doesn't mean you don't have anything to do. You got so many things to do, but yet still you tune into us, and we appreciate that. We're truly, truly blessed to have your presence here again tonight. And we will always assure you, and also make sure that our appreciation is felt by you, to know that we appreciate you. You come out here, some of you and myself, we go at it, but respectfully, we have a discussion, engagement. But yet still you come back another time. That's a form of respect, and we appreciate that. Whenever I come out here as well, I will do my best. I'm a human being like any other person, but I'll be truthful. There will be times that I will tell you based on purely truth what I believe. I'm not going to make a story. And many times people will try to disabuse me of the information that I'm going to provide out here. That's all in the game, all part of the process. I don't expect whatever that I'm going to give you here that you should take it and run away with it. If you have a question about it, call when the time comes, call and disabuse me. I don't mind. I'm not old enough not to eat crow if I made a mistake. That's the only way we'll be able to learn. We're still learning. And by people calling out our mistakes, get us to be the best, because we accept it and we correct those mistakes and we become the best through you, that we sit here and talk, and our process is improving. This is how I thought that perhaps the entire country will be handled. Tonight, when we call Prince Johnson out there, I believe we were the very few network that strongly rebuked Prince Johnson for his statement, and strongly distanced and condemned his statement. And after that, many other people, many new organizations start following and start condemning and start distancing. That's what we need to do. Not in a form of disrespect. We didn't come out here to castigate Prince Johnson, call him names and stuff like that. But we mentioned few of his past history. Those are history. We're not making it up. But the people start following. That's how we try our best here on Liberian Public Radio to give those type of information. Even though I strongly support Ambassador Bakai, I am a admirer of Ambassador Bakai, but if I see something that is wrong, I will speak my mind. I did hear the other day, and my good friend, my good little brother, friend, decided to push back hard on me, and I use the word Eto Collins. Eto, I mean YouTube, but that's part of it. That's part of it. So tonight, you're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to enjoy yourself because we're going to be doing it again. So quite recently, there's been lots and lots of issue about this war. If we don't, what I say to these people, and I'm glad that we call them out, and many Liberians decided to follow our footstep and call these people out And now they are now explaining. And then specifically Prince Johnson, he said he didn't mean what he said. I'll take him. I'll take it for his word. If he said he didn't mean what it's, that's all we want. That's all we want. Say that's not what I meant. That's okay. That's okay. I also speak with emotion and say some things sometimes that I really don't mean. And I can, if I'm given the opportunity, I can explain myself. And that's exactly what Brother Prince Johnson has done. And that's fine. And I say, brother, in terms of Liberian, I'm not from his side. So, but, and I believe all of us from Liberia were brothers and sisters, no matter what. Anyhow, let's leave that and go on to this the show tonight. So, quite recently, as I stated, the issue of war beat in Liberia became very heated and, in fact, intensified by Prince Johnson's statement. And I thought that's what started the whole ball rolling. But before that, Ambassador Bakai's statement, and I'm here tonight to show you a different time in history, in our Liberian history, election history. Different opposition, different politicians have used stronger language than that was used by Ambassador Bakai. And we will show you a clip of those, not clip, but some of those information here tonight. Here's the issue with that. But before I do that, let me quickly say here that we on Liberian Public Radio do not support and will not encourage whether it's come from the person we support as our political leader, whether it comes from the person we admire as the next president of the Republic of Liberia. But once you threaten the head that is on the bike or on the head of any Liberian, you're threatening mine as well. We're not going to go through, because that's exactly how we started. And the people are not coming for me, man. They're coming for the doorway people. Not me. Why come and waste my time for? I don't get time. Let them go. Let them go ahead. No, it didn't turn out like that. So we have history. We have history. If these things start creeping up, all of us, doesn't matter where you come from, whether you're even from the same village as this person who's beating the drum, let's stop it right now. Right now. Because these things don't end peacefully. They don't end well. All of you Liberians that are listening to me can attest to that. When we had a meeting over here in Philadelphia in 1985, when those young people at EULA meeting, they're saying EULA today, they're all scattered all over the place, but I'm done with you. I'm not involved with it. But when we had a meeting in the same Sir Johnny that is now close confidant of Ambassador Baka, so friend, he can attest to that. Another guy, Sam Colley, he's still in Rhode Island. He can attest that he was the president of Rhode Island, Liberian Rhode Island community at the time. When we went to Philadelphia in 1985 for the convention, Tom Woyu then was the president at the time. And at that meeting, there was a group that came from Atlanta. I remember them very well. And I remember the way they dressed. I was in a hall and they started talking. No way, Mr. Doe, we're not even going to ask for Mr. Doe, President Doe resignation. We'll dethrone him by force. And I stood up. That's what I mean, America already. Remember now, this is a guy that was deported and he came back. What y'all do to me? Nothing. Uncle saying do anything to me like yo, I beg you. So I stood up. I told them, I said, as much as my condition was not suitable at the time to speak, and in terms of supporting that government, but I knew exactly what these things don't end well. I remember the incident with in Congo. It didn't end well either. When the Congolese president intentionally, Mobutu intentionally told his people to attack the French barracks, and when they kill any French citizen, the French will come and then they will put the rebels down quickly. Well, when that happened, when the French came, It didn't take long before Mobutu himself, everybody was tired, was turning. So these things don't end easily. So I know that. So I stood up and told them, though and his people, in as much as you believe that he has cheated in the election, let's give the chance, let's give the process a chance. You go over there with violence. That was 1985. Samson told, God is my witness. God is my witness. 1985, I told them, if you go and say you're going to dislodge door by force, don't have supporters, and they will not allow you to just kill them. They're going to fight back. Did they listen to me? 1985, Tom Wowiyu was the president. Did they listen to me in the hall that night, that afternoon? No. In Philadelphia, they didn't listen to me. In fact, some of the people that went with me, they were disappointed of my, but I knew, and the statement I made exactly what happened. I said, when you guys leave tomorrow, Tucson is behind Toll Town in Grand Gila County. When you guys leave from wherever you're going to come from to go to Tucson, you're not going to tell the people in Toll Town, your excuse, yeah? We're not coming for you. Are you serious? I told them that. I said, you're not going to tell that excuse. Every one of us, the fact that you know we're crying, you're coming for everybody. And I'm not going to support that. Samson told, God is my witness. I said that. I told them. What happened? They didn't listen to me. We left, we went back. Years later, at that time I was in Ohio. A friend of mine that I've already talked about here, when I was playing for the soccer team for Malone, he was playing for the college on scholarship. They refused to give me a scholarship. The scholarship that was supposed to be for me, they went and brought people. I told you guys the story already. They brought people from England. They rather gave the English people the scholarship than me. I was there, but then they asked me to continue to practice with them. I was good. I wasn't a VC. I'm big here. They people want me to practice and make that thing. I said, no problem. I want to play ball anyway. So, but anyway, this guy, next thing I know, they were buying sweater, hoodies that says here, Free Liberia. I saw that. I said, Tony, what you mean by Free Liberia? Liberia, not under any kind of suppression. Where you need a Free Liberia from? Yeah, my man, don't listen to the people say Free Liberia, my man. You want buy? I said, no, I'm buying T-shirt. There's a guy, I'm not going to call his name. He's in Columbus right now. One of the guy. I'm not going to call him. I don't know if he's still active. Next year, I know he was in Akron. My man, you got to buy a T-shirt with supporting Free Liberia. I said, where you Free Liberia from? In Akron. I said, where you Free Liberia from? Akron, Ohio, that is. Say, hey, my man, you know. I said, I'm buying no T-shirt. I let go. They didn't listen to me. The same thing I said, when those people left to go to Tucson area, whatever, they were not telling people in Town excuse. In fact, Town became one of the bigger battlegrounds. Young people from our town die in Town. Young people that I know die. So when I heard this guy making this statement, I'm saying it again, this thing don't end well. Even President, we all want him to be removed constitutionally. You go carry Tabata to him, he will push back. And you think your got bulletproof? You ain't got bulletproof? So those things don't end well. And that's why we keep saying, let us don't go that route. Let us don't go that route. You're not nice. Folks, please, somebody, please share my video. I am unable to share tonight. Willie Hannah, can you please share my video if you don't mind? And I'm unable to share for some reason. Somebody tried to mess with my page. They can't let me share, but I'll work on that. But anyhow, so before I go deeper, let me go to Prince Johnson's statement. Then I'll come back and tell you, and then we go through. Yes, another issue. quite recently. I don't know how true this is. I'm just reading from the daily, one of the daily over there in Liberia. The American embassy is warning their citizens and their staffs that they should be very careful, be prepared for an emergency election. And even if Ambassador Baka wins, how do you then try to convince the investor to come and invest in a country that you're seeking to lead? You think with this kinds of drumbeat, and even a president was to be this large, you think that the people, the investor, when you beat the drum like this here, the investor gonna say, yes, I'm gonna put my money in Liberia? And now people are trying their best to justify and backtrack, which I appreciate. That's what makes you a leader. I appreciate that. But in fact, I think those, and I'll be very truthful here again tonight, those who are handling Ambassador Baka are not doing him good service at all. This is not Ambassador Baka's farm that he wants to lead. Once he becomes president, he will also be president of sedition. He will also be president of everybody in Liberia. And he must present himself from that perspective. Election is not war. So my thing is, before Ambassador Baka goes before the mic to make any statement, people who are and you'll start already. The main even president here, you'll start already. You'll start already. You ain't president, yo. What Terry here tonight? Terry, why you not coming on my stuff again? Why you don't want to be part of me anymore? Okay, that's okay. You'll start already. The main president here. Ambassador Baka, he needs people that he can trust and rely on. So when he goes to the mic to make statement, he's an educated person. Let whatever statement he's going to make, it shouldn't just be from the top of his head. It must be written. So you put it back in, when you're done with it, you put it back in the fire and it becomes part of the archive of Ambassador Baka campaign for future archive. So whatever little speeches he's going to make, people review it and have a dialogue with him. Ambassador, you sure you want to say this? Okay, we're going over there tomorrow. This is what Ambassador, 2 or 3 people, and talk about it and read it to the ambassador and see his own reaction. What would be his reaction? You know what, Doc Gregory, I think he's a comedian here. You know what he said one time? He said, in order for you to engage in an argument with somebody, and I do that a lot, first of all, put yourself in a different position and try to examine this person as to whether that person has a capacity. Whether that person has a capacity to understand that your perspective is yours. And that you're not trying to overpower that person. In other words, the person must have some sort of empathy for your feeling. He doesn't have to agree with you. Once you have that kind of person, then the conversation will be fruitful. Because you're arguing your point, because you want to make sure your point get across. He's also going to argue, but in the meantime, he will be respectful to your process. So if you have Ambassador Baka going on stage with this kinds of media, today's media, people should review and write whatever Ambassador Baka going to make the statement. Because whatever statement he's making it to the whole world. The entire world gonna hear it, unless if it's in private, unless if it's somewhere where there's nobody to videotape or anything like that. But once he get behind that podium, the statement must be written and thoroughly vetted. Now,
Look at this thing here, my people. You look at this thing here. Ambassador Bakai, of all people, this is a same man 2017. What did he say when he got beat? Fair game. He's not a violent person. He's not a violent when he went to court, when Councilor Brodsky was in court. Of course, he was there supporting the process. But when the court ruled against them, they said, fine. And now, because of some emotional aspect that was meant to say, my people, you stop that kind of stuff. You need to make sure Ambassador Baka is presented fairly to our people. The man went on the podium. First of all, he's a father. He got children in the country. And when he thinks about these little children that are on drugs, that their life is completely damaged, when he thinks about those stuff, emotional set in. And in his mind, and he truly believes the fault for all of this ills in that country, most of it is being brought on by this government. And that's why he wants to that's why he wants to unseat the government. Makes sense. He made a statement to say, if these people win, our country is no more. I'm paraphrasing. And then people say, oh, Ambassador Baka wants to damage the country. He wants to bring war. So, but let's look at those people's position as well. Let's look at their position. Let's look at their position. Why are they making a statement? A day or so earlier, folks, this is interesting. A day, 2 days, or a day, 22nd, he came out publicly that he has trust in the election commission. A day later, he said, if these people cheat, then they win, this country will be no more. What happened from the time, in order for the people to cheat, most likely the election commission will be involved. CDC can't go and do anything outside of the electoral process to cheat. And if they're cheating, they're not just not business, they've been starting ever since. Election commission most likely have information. But Ambassador Baka told the entire world, they are confident in the election commission. A day or so later, they're accusing the ruling party that they may, these are us way, way ahead of us, may cheat. We have to guide against that, he says. We have to stop that, he says. And if we are unable to stop it and they cheat, this country no more. Because of all of the ills. He's saying, and many people are not looking, see, this is what we do. We're very good at that. Me, Samson, too. Well, I got my butt whooped here in the United States. And they say, pack your Satoka, go back home. I went to Liberia. A guy in Liberia the next day and say, I brought guns to overthrow the government. True story, my people. They say I brought guns to overthrow the government of Liberia. I only have one when I left from here. I only have one suitcase. One suitcase. Then they say, Samson took guns to Liberia for West End then to overthrow the Dole government. I know these people. That's what we do. We make these stories up. If it wasn't for this Nyabo boy, he's dead now. If it wasn't for Isaac Double, day I'm dead. Long time. But Isaac Double knew me in Zwedru anyway. But that's a different story. So the point that I'm making here is this. When these people got hold of that statement, they started turning it, twisting it, warping it everywhere. It comes out to be something else. But let's look at those people's view, my people. Let's look let's look at these people that are making this story turn to different things. Let's look at them. What are they coming from? What platform do they have? What is it? Where are they hanging their tabata on? And is that pole that they're hanging their tabata on, is it holy? Yes, it is. Some time ago, Prince Johnson, who was an ally of President Buckeye, he made a ridiculous statement. Let's go. We call him on that. Now, if these people, like I'm asking them, if they were to have the Ambassador Buckeye's statement, if it was to be vetted thoroughly, and all the people are educated, if it were to be vetted thoroughly, they were going to see that this statement coupled with Prince Johnson's statement, anybody can take it out of context. And here we go. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. Let me play Prince Johnson's. Folks, the reason I'm doing all of this here, it's not because I like Prince Johnson and beating the war drummer. That's not my point. But I want you to see, first of all, let's see why these people, the opposite, the ruling party, why are they holding President Buckeye like that? Why? Why? Remember, Benla Euro told us that President Buckeye told him that he'd rather dance with the devil to win than anything else. Hold that to your mind. According to the statement, I don't know how true that is, but that Prince Johnson now considered to be devil, and I'd rather go with the devil so I can win my election. One. Then Prince Johnson came out. This Prince Johnson is not something strange to all of us. Prince Johnson came out. And let me play this, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Samson told.
And Joshua must receive this warning from the people yesterday. It's a warning that will tire with you. Will tire with you. Don't force yourself on, we'll vote you out. Sedition say, we will take it, but we'll take it. We will take it. We defy them to take it. We defy them. In fact, another book coming out will soon come. Another, before October election, Liberians are coming out under the caption, don't try it, don't try it. Any attempt, the people's power will be exercised at the Arab Spring. You will shoot your gun, you will kill us, or you will die. But no more fear. Liberians don't have fear anymore. They don't want to live under a dictatorial regime. A don't care regime. People say, oh, they think that people were saying, no money, we don't hear for money. Where's the money? How much money you pay guys? You pay guys nothing. Our campaign, they learn the bread of Nimba. Places I've never been before in my life, in my own country, as a political godfather. Because Nimba is big, big. These people are determined, they are resolved. So the crowd is genuine. The thing happen in every county. Nobody send money, nobody bought food for them, nothing. People yesterday were crying for people water to drink. I came home around 10 o'clock last night. It means defend. Not just number 2, it means defend. Number 2 is a defending fee. I'm number 3. So I'm defending, I'm a defender. You know what I mean? Number 3 is the legal commission. And the main judge number 18. Relegation, eh? So there's a real crowd in the ring. Walking from here, Dupo Road. I waited for Rescue 2 here. From here, Rescue 2 came. We managed to relay. He got down from the car and walked from here to Jalata to 80.
So the issue is, Prince Johnson, the statement he made here, that we're not afraid. You can kill us. You can shoot, get your gun, shoot us, kill us. But we'll be here and you will die. How they will kill the person? The person who will die. The person will be shooting gun and then they die. We're talking Prince Johnson now. He says somebody going to be shooting them. They will kill them. But that person will die. So how the person will die? And you're coming back. Prince Johnson came back and said the statement he made, he was not talking about violence. He said people would die though, but he's not talking about violence. He was talking about people's power. And here's the thing, the issue that I have. That's Spring Johnson. I came out here, condemned it, distanced myself, but we didn't hear anything. In fact, a day later, the spokesperson for Unity Party, Mo Ali, according to the story, backed Spring Johnson's statement. I read it to you guys here. So the day after that, few days after that, Ambassador Bakar went up. He said he has, for me, when he made that statement, that he has confidence in the election commission, it's his own way of telling Prince Johnson, stop. We're not going to go through there. Because when Prince Johnson made that statement that they're going to rig the election, and Ambassador Bakar came out and said, I have confidence in the election commission, then that means he has distanced himself without going out to say, I distance myself, but without making that statement. Now, a day after that, Ambassador Bakar came back with the damning statement that all of us are trying our best now to make sure the way he stated it is not exactly what it is. And here's the reason here. I have so many videos of Ambassador Bakar. When he went to Ghana to make statement, I have the video. I have more than 100 videos of Ambassador Bakar. From the time he Ellen were together, when he go to the United States to make statement as ambassador, as vice president, every time I have video. And you can go on YouTube, you can get the same thing. Not one. Have you heard Ambassador Bakar talk about the war in a sense of defending himself and his people? Ambassador Bakar, in all of it, Audrey, he's always talk about corruption. How corruption eat the fabric of a society. So if somebody have that kind of clear understanding, have that kind of understanding of a society and what happens if the corruption is not stopped. So you have Ambassador Bakar. What the people did here, I hope they don't do it anymore. A few weeks back, we have a drug issue, and Ambassador Bakar has spoke about drug before, against it. Few weeks before, there's a drug issue over there in at the airport. That was all over. Ambassador Bakar have seen children on drugs in Monrovia. He lives in Monrovia. And he sees those children every day, pretty much. So when you give him the opportunity with the idea of these rumors and stuff that are going around to say, what he stated there is something that many politicians have stated before. Burn Monrovia, we'll rebuild it. We will, and I'll show you that here. We will be prepared. No, he said, we are prepared to fight if the election is rigged. Bacchus Mafia. Many politicians have gone through that before, including President Weah himself. The consequence of rigged election will be felt all over, paraphrasing President Weah. So now President Bakar is making a statement. And these people are taking it out of context without clearly trying to put themselves in the position of Ambassador Bakar when he made that statement. The statement is damning, to be honest with you. It didn't portray the President Bakar in a good light. And I say President Bakar intentionally. Go sue me. Okay. President Bakar intentionally. I say that. But the statement, on a very serious note, the statement did not portray President Bakar in a light of a father figure in the nation, person who wants to be the president and the father of the nation. It didn't come across well. It did not. But why? So those people that are going, when you compare, when you put his statement and blend it in with Prince Johnson, eliminate that with Prince Johnson's statement and steamroll on it, they become one. And that's what CDC has done to us. They took Prince Johnson's statement that was well understood by many Liberians and was hated by many Liberians and were pushed by. They took that. They said, "Oh, you listen to Prince Johnson. You can't listen to Ambassador Baka." They put it over it. Sedition. Very good at that. And they roll it. They roll it. Boom, you can't split it apart. But we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. And I'm here tonight, not necessarily trying to defend the statement itself. I think the statement, why it didn't portray the good ambassador in a good light as a politician. And once again, for me, you know, I don't play around. I will start faulting those who are handling Ambassador Bakai. There is no reason. They just had a huge crowd. And since Ambassador Bakai is not doing a retail politics right now, that's fine. But when he goes to whatever opportunity that is giving him to speak, even if there are 2-3 people, but as long the mic and the cameras are on, those speeches must be vetted, must be archived. Liberia, this is what I want. I want people to understand. Liberia is not going to remain like that. Up to this point, people are still reading Abraham Lincoln stump speeches when he was campaigning. Where our own? Where our own people there? You think Liberia will remain like that forever? No. We can't say we want to be part of the civil rights war, then we're still thinking back in total. What kind of business is this? Eh? If you want to stay in total, let's stay in total. Let's forget about civil rights business. And let's do everything the way we do it in total. That's fine. But you can't say you want the total and then follow people civil rights business. Then you say, oh, I want civil rights business, but I will act like total. What kind of business is that? You're not going to be successful. So I'm saying here again, these things, the people who handle Ambassador Bakai did not go well. I'm surprised as my good friend Anthony Cassidy. I think Anthony Cassidy, he seemed to be too much emotionally involved. When you read these little statements he would make on Facebook, I'm surprised at that because he's a very mature person. And he has been in so many, little fight, but he has been in so many political fights. For him to jump at things that most likely will have fleet all over him. Why will you put yourself like Anthony Cassidy? Why will you try to respond to people like Carrasco? Carrasco that was just born yesterday because he made some kind of statement and you emotionally got attached to that. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Folks, let me do this. All right, folks. It's one of my one of the analysts, colleagues of mine. But anyhow, so for people like the like of Anthony Cassidy, what I was reading yesterday, unacceptable, Kezo. You can't do those things. You're way mature. You're way bigger than that. Why will you even try to respond to people like Carrasco? Who is Carrasco? What does he know about Liberian politics? What? Because he hang with the president? You ask Carrasco right now to start naming members of the PAD organization. He won't be able to do that. And you're going to, because you make statement about Ambassador Baka, you jump in that. Those are the kinds of stuff. So people like Anthony Cassidy, who happen to be my good friend as well, I would suggest that he stay away from Ambassador Baka. Because if you cannot hold your emotion and check your emotion to the door, then what's the point of working with the ambassador or the president soon to be? So I'm saying here, all of you that are around the president, we trust that many of you have the ability to make sure these things don't turn out the way they did. Anthony Cassidy, where were you when Ambassador Baka was making this statement? Sir Johnny, where were you guys when Ambassador Baka made his statement? Don't tell me you said you didn't even review it. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Many of you should be able to say, Ambassador, let's look at your stuff. Who called you here now? And then bring the man come in, they step my thing here. Look at it. I don't even invite himself.
Your tabata here tonight is, let me see. Let me see.
Come and start.
Yeah.
I'm feeling you.
You're not even supposed to be around Boyka too. I don't know what Boyka doing with you.
Why are you coming to spot my show? Can I finish my story? But anyway.
This is not a fair, look, Samson told. You need to stop this behavior. This is not a fairy tale site here.
Mr. So, Samson told the liberal is running his show. You saw Spoon. You are parking people in the back today. You saw CEO.
Show yourself to the people. You profess that you love the people, but you don't. But when you can't, you try to play nice so that they would take everything and give it to you. You don't have no friend here.
Bill, you tell Mr. So to. But anyway, I will deal with you later. You come here with your conservative idea now. Please, can you please? I can't send a link to Mali. Can you please send a link to Mali, please, if you don't mind? That's a help.
I'm going to send it to them. Look, we have serious things to talk about. 14 days to go, and you say,
Mr. So, I run my show the way I run my show. You coming back again tonight again?
Okay.
You're not going to win the one.
I hear already. You say I'm coming back? I hear.
Okay, you hear. But let me finish my stuff. So,
go ahead.
The point here, folks, those who are handling Ambassador Baka, for me, I think they have failed him. Let me show you a few other things here. Let me show you something here quick. Okay. Okay. Look at this here. Look at this. I'm not too sure if you want to read that. That's Baka's Matthew. We are prepared to fight. And if you read that, it will say if election is rigged. This is 1984. Okay. I have plenty of the where Ambassador Baka also made that statement. Okay, but let me show something else before Mr. So I can go over here. Yes. What I want to read here. The voter roll still has not been put out, and the people are complaining. Now that's the area people need to focus. But before I do that, let me play Ambassador Baka statement here. Okay, and I want you to listen. Before he bring out the demise of Liberia, he said we have to guide against the cheating. That's our job. After he finished making a statement of the demise of Liberia, he said we will not allow them to cheat because that will bring the demise of Liberia. Now, somebody who wants to destroy the country don't even have to justify anything. Let me play that. So people who going around, Ambassador, why I want to destroy? No, but then again, I understand your position because you have taken Prince Johnson's statement and matched it with Ambassador, the president's statement, and now it becomes something. Let me play Ambassador Baka's statement, please.
That's why you have to protect it. If you think they will see this election, you will not lie. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. And we're not going to allow that to.
If you do it, that's the end of this country. Basically, he's telling you that all these people that are on drugs, on this government, that people money, they're trying to harmonize the money, you're not getting your pay correctly on this government. They take all of the concessionaire stuff, the people are getting rich on this government. Not the poor people. People can't find food, their children can't go to school on this government. If you allow them to cheat, this country is finished. That's exactly what the president meant. But then people are taking it differently. Let me show you something. The final voter roll, which cannot be altered after 30 days prior to election, except by the Supreme Court. Okay. So, however, the electoral body has yet to release that. Okay. And that is frustrating to many. Mr. So, what are you doing?
Hold on one second. I'm trying to, Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you come, I didn't invite you. You threw into my show. You try to kick me out of my show.
You almost.
What kind of CEO we got in the players? You see? You see? Why I call him Emon Joy? That Emon Joy will be my protector. You see, the man, he came to my show. He started to kick me out.
You're already out. Folks, welcome to the show. I'm taking charge now. Go ahead, Libra. You're Tabata too much. You got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
What kind of people are there, my friend? They see the trouble I see. They said conversation with Samson too. The way Samson too run his show, that's why he run his show. Yeah. But anyhow, let me go ahead and bring these people in. The opposition. Opposition. Let me bring them in. So, Mr. So on the other side, soon to be PhD, Emon Sawyer, Dr. Famula, and all of the PhD, the radical PhD in Liberia, they're all in here, soon to be. But anyway, good evening, welcome. I don't know what's his name, Terry, gonna show up tonight. But anyhow, thank you for joining me.
You started drinking so quick?
Mr. So, I'm not gonna mind you. But anyhow, so the issue here for me is that the statement that is being made and that is being attributed to Ambassador Baka as being destructive to destroy Liberia is far from the truth. Ambassador Baka, you must be able to understand his condition. He got kids. Ambassador Baka care for the people. And he's saying you cannot let this government stay. This government must go. And if they try to cheat, and if they're successful in cheating, then this country is over. Because they will continue to do what they're doing now. And the more that you give them another 6 years, you get them 6 years, look how far we are. We're in a dungeon. We're left from early time here. We're way in a hole. You give them another 6 years, they will continue to dig the hole. Then the country is finished. That's exactly what Ambassador Baka meant. But what is the context? Prince Johnson have spoken. And Mali and I condemned him that day. And the whole world followed us. They follow our lead. They took Ambassador Baka's statement.
So
with Prince Johnson's statement, and now they throw it out there.
You are not the right person to do this damage control.
You don't know that.
What?
You don't know that.
Yeah, but that's what you're doing here now. This is how you guys are very disingenuous. You want to be in two places at the same time.
You explain why you say that. You explain to me.
Yeah. You try to take a position to criticize the biker folks that you support. At the same time, you want to be the fixer to say this is not what he said. And this is where the political tolerance is lacking in our leaders. You know, they get this old parable saying, the elder in the town, you can't be the first to see the ugliness of the bamboo when it comes to time. Let the kids go.
Where your point? All that totem parable and things. Where your point?
No, they're not. I don't talk totem yet.
Okay.
The point is the statement of Ambassador Breaker
Soon to be president.
The way you calling him president, that insinuation. All of these things, you got to stop this behavior, yeah, Samson. You support people and you don't do it with genuineness. It's wrong.
Mr. So, you can classify whatever way you want. I have the right to say what I want to say. I cannot say.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
In the theater.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
President, I can do that.
No, your right should contain facts. Okay, but let's get to the point.
Okay, what's your point?
You're quite correct. This is the problem that is lacking with our all of our these guys, they call themselves political leaders. Both government, the opposition, they all do the same thing. I think he's trying to hand us stuff. What his name, Prince Johnson, and all of the other surrogates, we've been hearing a lot of red meat sound bites of this sort of war tone, warlike language, knowing where our country came from. And so for him to come and rehash those things as a person who was seeking for the higher office of the land, validate the argument of what people like Prince Johnson has been saying. He said those same things when he first disagreed with the president. He came back again, he walked back and all of that. But now you see the statement here today coming from the president. He's taking shot at Unity Party, and that is just not good, because when you do that, you give this president thousands of layers to make the argument that these people are up. He said there will be no return to rebel checkpoint in Liberia. That's the president. And it's all based on all of these talk that people are talking. When he said there will be no Liberia, okay, he didn't provide details. He didn't say so anybody can interpret it. When we heard before, there will be no, the executive mansion will be level. This one will do this. All of these words, there is a connotation. It could be a good one, it could be a bad one, depending who is the recipient. So when I hear that, I will say, wait a minute, why would you say there will be no Liberia? On what condition? And you didn't tell me how I'm going to. So some of their own things that they are doing, they're undercutting their own argument, which is not good for them.
I agree with you. I think this time around, my group put their foot in their mouth on a very serious note. Yeah, no.
You yourself, do you know to put your own foot in your throat?
Whatever. But the point here, Mali, before I come to you now, the point here is what Prince Johnson and Ambassador Baka, Ambassador Baka, it's a little bit different, but what they have given, they're giving emanation to this president. Now, I think when you and I talked that day, Mali, I made a statement. I said, even if the president were to cheat, and he said, but look at the people started crying before they even came out with anything, These are things that perhaps if you're going to make a statement, you have to be very careful. But what do you make of our Tabata, Mali?
Well, I think, sorry to say, I don't know whether your ear is prepared to absorb this, but I strongly believe that I'm now beginning to feel that former VP Wakai has got what I call political temperament.
Oh, Jesus.
And the kind of country we are about to handle right now, too many people are angry in the system. Too many people are hungry. The country is volatile. You have ex-rebel moving from one end to another. Small thing aggravating too many people in our country. We need a father, not only a president, but if someone who we now regard to be a father is beginning to show his temperament, that's something to worry about. Because the statement Joseph Barker made today is that you are making it from the point of weakness. A desperate person who desperately needs the executive mansion, and if he doesn't get it, then the rest of the 5 so million people will have to perish. It's something to worry me. Like what the moderator said, they have just thrown so many red.
Who the moderator?
Okay. Like what Mr. So just said. They have through so many rare
When
means.
your count tonight will purposely to try to hijack my show. Why you calling him moderator? I am the moderator.
Okay, I'm sorry, that was slip of tongue. So what I'm seeing here, Mr. Soul, I think you guys are doing, you're the supporter of Joseph Barker, you're doing him a severe disservice. Disservice in the sense that the issue of winning this election is not about sympathy. Not that he's old or the time is past, so we got to rather. No, it doesn't go that way. You guys will need to do hard work. For example, my mother lived in Todi. All right? It been 3 months. You know who been going to Todi? CDC been going to Todi. 3 months now. Every time they go there, in fact, they reach to my mother compound. So I always ask them, who all can here? I say, oh, the CDC people. Oh, the CDC people. Until they don't even know whether there are other political parties. So what I'm driving out here is that Moravia is a showcase era. You guys will have to leave that Moravia there and move inland. You see, CDC is no more dancing in Moravia again. CDC is going from door to door in villages. Look at Todi, it's just in Monserrado County, adjacent to Moravia. All right? No opposition ever gone there. Even when I asked my brother then, even other friends. So the showcase are going on with UP in Moravia town. You guys will have to stop it if you want to win this election. It's not about sympathy. It's about hard work and calculation. It's about numbers. I'm not seeing this paper going, he and his follower going after the numbers. Now they're getting desperate now and making statements to undermine the stability of this country. You see? So you're the member there, you need to tell him temperament in politics can be dangerous. That's my first time seeing such Joseph Barker exhibiting his temperament. And it was good. No, give me chance. It was good that he exhibited it so we as Liberians can see.
No, but you can't. No. You're not giving me a chance yet. I'm not for you to clarify like that. Then I have to push back. I just explained to you the temperament, that one you call temperament. That's just the empathy side of him. He felt so bad for the people on drugs. He felt so bad for people that can't find jobs. He felt so bad that the people harmonization, but really hammer over their head. He felt all of those things was accumulating in him alone. And when he got on the stage, the emotion took over for the fact that he felt so bad for the people. And he's saying, we cannot let these people to cheat. Because if they do and if they are successful and take 6 more years, the country is finished. That means it doesn't mean that he's going to damage the country, but that means the country right now they're in power in the last 6 years. Look how far you are. You went from this all the way to the bottom in a hole. No road.
So
let me disabuse.
Election hasn't been here yet. Not yet.
No, but you can't go there. You can't go there. So the point here is this. But you guys, all of us gonna have to understand that statement. It has nothing to do with temperament. He been government for 40 some more years. You want to tell me he been government for 40 some? No, matter. Hold on. He been government for all these years. Is this the only time that he will be able to exhibit a temperament that perhaps you will now understand? That's what I'm saying. No, this is not that. Because if he has a temperament, it's a problem, and that problem will have been reoccurring all throughout. But he has always been a peaceful man.
No.
Let me go to Terry.
You just took my time. You just took my time away. Now you switching to Terry. That's fine.
Yeah. I want something good to come. Terry, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
The liberal.
Anyway, I don't know what to put him in there. He's a mess. Honestly.
All right, you go ahead.
But actually,
you come and say something good?
Of course.
I don't even know why.
It always makes sense.
Okay.
But anyway, like the Labour play Ambassador Barker's statement, and the statement was very clear. The statement was very, very clear.
All right.
But you see, the ruling party and some auxiliaries of the ruling party, like we normally say now, is becoming very glaring, that they will always look for little things that people are not able to understand and take it, manufacture it, and chunk it in the public. And the people now who cannot understand, and what puzzles me, people with PhD is looking at this statement from the position of being detrimental to the state. That what shocked me. If you listen to the puppet said, the old man said, if you, he said, if I, he said, if you allow them to rig these elections, then I don't know what will happen to Liberia. Then Liberia is finished. He didn't say if I. He didn't say if they rig the election, then Liberia is finished. Or we will destabilize the country. He said if you allow them to rig this election, then I don't know what will happen to the country. So, in my opinion, like what Labour said, I think Labour is right tonight. I will start with Labour.
I know
that the old man did not mean any harm. But again, if politicians take statements, that is what they do. You look for minor things and you throw it in the public. And that's what I was saying the other time about Henry Costa, that the voice of Henry Costa have the propensity to shake the defense of Unity Party. I'm a man who supports Ambassador Boyka. But people say, oh, Henry Costa finished. The man just wrote small thing. The whole internet crazy. Everybody is just all over the place, arguing on the one statement. That is what you know, that strength, that political power. So if CDC can get him to switch to pivot on the side, he might not cripple Ambassador Boyka or votes, but he could cause a serious havoc in the Unity Party defense. Because one of the mistakes they always make is when Telia US speak, they go after her. When Costa speak, they go after him. And when they keep doing that, and not to continue to pay attention to these people, they will continue to make these people to gain traction, and it will affect the whole entire campaign. It will affect and help to destabilize the Unity Party defense that they are moving on right now. And I don't think they need to give it.
Okay. If our representative for Grand Judea, Samson Toll, would not come within the proximity to say he's even going to advise me, because look, let's call it as it is.
I am a political genius. You know that.
You are not. You horrible in all your analysis for the most part. And when you play with me tonight, what you say about Terry not being on your side?
My sister wrong. My sister, Sonia, folks. Samson Toll, let me play a little music. My sister is. Well, you said, Mr. So
why you want to sanction me?
No. Let Mali say he has something he wanted to talk about.
No, Mali didn't say so. I'm talking. No, look, guys. On a serious note, the country is at a crossroad. And Terry, don't be like this guy, please. If it is wrong, we must say it. Only diplomats, and he is a diplomat, but in this context, there is a target he's aiming at to be the president of the Republic of Liberia. And he's challenging an incumbent president. So when he's speaking, he needs to be concise, he needs to be clear, he needs to make an argument that someone who is a bystander, who is still undecided, who is contemplating which direction to go, but looking for someone who will mend the broken pieces. That's what he needs to do. That statement just went over the top on a couple of reasons. One, some of his surrogate supporters, Prince Johnson, other people, they have been saying a lot of things. I'm not saying CDC or sedition, they have not been saying this. So if they are saying theirs, should he go in that direction? Absolutely not. He needs to cut between those cutting edge now so that he will position himself as a person that is ready. We know some of these statements in the past. We can just judge them based on past experience. And that is why it is important as a politician and not when a diplomat speak in specific tone and then later on they do a damage control, but not at this sort of crucial time where you get 14 days to go to say there will be no Liberia. You're speaking to a lot of people. In as much we might guess that all of those people that are there, they are supporters of Unity Party or other sympathizers, not necessarily the case. There are other people still there waiting to get a convincing argument. So when at this point in time, we can all say he's a main challenger to the opposition. Now, yet the president going to Lofa making this kind of statement here is based, if you read here, is based on some of those soundbites coming from Unity Party. There will be no return to rebel checkpoint in Liberia. Now they're going to take that, they're going to reconstruct that. You see these people, if they not win here, this is what we're going to do. What that does, it's going to distract you from your main person because you will start explaining like what you said. I don't know who advised that. You're going after Costa, you're going after Taylor Ure when you're supposed to be promoting, explaining the agenda of your candidate. Look, all of these major networks, the Spoon, the Argument, Class Reloading, if you listen to them, if they mean well, this voter roll is a critical issue to this process. About 30 days, this thing, according to their own guidelines, according to their own issue are being up. How many of them really raise the argument in an attempt for the party that they are supporting to send out a wake-up call? But they're still talking all sort of things that is not still helpful to their candidate. See where we are today, 14 days to go. That is not all. If they bring it over there, they throw it out, you have to deal with it as it is because they just do not have, they are not far-sighted. They focus on entertaining their crowd or people who watching. Oh yeah, this person. No, politics. You have to be strategic to get votes on your side. And I'm really surprised. The liberal has been just the liberal. For he to sit down here tonight and at the same time he want to play nice. Yeah, oh, why you say the boy got buying this and that? When it is ugly, it's ugly.
Mr.
Ambassador Baker should have said that it was wrong saying it undercuts his own momentum because what that does, they're going to play into other people's narrative and they will start scratching their head. Oh, wait a minute. I'm just giving you an honest view.
Okay, thank you. Before I bring in Maris, let me just say why I do agree with you. But let's give it some context here. For example, and I stated here before, I'm not trying to make excuses. That statement does not portray the ambassador in good light as someone who wants to be the father. Maris stated.
So say it. There's nothing to sugarcoat it. Then just say it. Be authentic. Because if the president, if George
let the liberal express himself, please.
Yeah, come in. I'll be nice here because you threatened to already throw me.
You have no choice but to be nice because you can find yourself in a garage right now.
Okay, well, that's you posted at that garage, so it wouldn't be surprised for you to find another occupant there. But because what I'm saying, the liberal, to be honest, if the president has also made such a statement, if I don't win this election, there will be no Liberia, I can give it any interpretation because there's insufficient argument in his case. And I have the right to do that. Anybody can do that. And I want to restructure it and make him look like a Buku man.
Mr. So I agree with you. Before I bring in Mali, I agree with you that statement does not portray the ambassador in good light from my perspective. However, let us also understand that when you're in this position, campaigning for this job, there are times that perhaps our emotion take the best out of us. Let's put it that way. Now, my concern, my main reason here, my main thing here is that the handler of Ambassador Bakai should not allow him to make statement off the cut. Should not allow, because he's a father. He has kids. And if he think about his own kids, with what is happening with these young people in Liberia, it's easy to be moved emotionally. And he simply made that statement, I believe, based on emotion. Now, do
You
you
got his
truly?
consultation? You and he
Do
had
you?
any discussion?
That's
Yes, there's nothing that it's you say you're good at make what speculation. That's your speculation conversation you bring
Mr.
here. Don't bring that here.
Mr. So you don't have to agree with me. See that one thing about your sedition, when you get one small little
There
thing
you go.
over us, then you're ready to hang it over our head. I'm trying to now. Do you
So
really?
I'm a sedition now.
No, you're not sedition tonight. Do you really believe? And I'll go to Malaysia as well. Do you guys really believe that Ambassador Baka really, the statement really reflect his inner self as being somebody who's saying that if I don't win, there will not be Liberia? Do you believe that of the
Okay, yeah,
ambassador?
and I'll be very honest with you. That is not my belief. But I
Okay.
told you, in the game of politics,
I
you got
agree.
to be
I
very
agree.
careful.
I agree. That's all.
You remember the comment of Hillary Clinton when he was speaking to people and she said the basket of deplorable? That hurts her. Unless in Liberia we do not take into account all of these things here. So he shouldn't have said, at this point in time, is only your surrogate should do the dirty work and you should be the one to be the fixer. That's
I
what I'm
agree.
saying.
Let's
So
go
if
to
you want to be door. You want to be care, don't be dog care.
Okay, all right. Okay, we put our phone our own phone in our mouth. We'll get it out. We'll get, yeah. But let's go to Mali. Mali, do you is there any empathy from your part on my explanation here as I try to convince people that Ambassador Baka's statement, if we put ourselves in a position to be empathy with him, the fact that he was saying these things based on his followerhood in Liberia, thinking that his people are suffering. Mali, will you not have some sympathies and empathy on this here?
You work for Mali, you're not get a life jacket. You get drowned. Mali, go ahead. Let me not say. You want to wait for Mali.
Well,
please.
Mr. To, the only thing I gotta let you know here is that April 4th, we all went to Farmington. And we all append our signature to a paper there that we will have a peaceful election. Peaceful election does not mean, violent election does not necessarily mean going on the street fighting people and other. Your utterance alone can set a soldier moving. It can set a huge army moving right now. You see, I will agree with you partly. Joseph Baka may not want to take gun or stick to tell the people, oh, the election and looking at the city, so we got to burn the houses down. But his followers will put that country on fire based on this statement. All right. And Terry just reshuffled that statement there. Let me get the statement in order because I wrote it in my diary. The statement says, if they see these elections, we will not allow it, because if they do, it will be the end of this country. Wow. If you watch,
no,
wait. I said I wrote it down. I wrote this thing down word for word. Maybe we'll go back to it, but I wrote it down word for word.
Let the Labour play it.
So yeah, with the Labour will play it. But this
so
is
Labour, are you willing to play that tape for us?
No. Let him go ahead. Mali, go ahead.
So what I want us to say here is that
you plead the fifth.
Those of you who supporting Joseph Boakai, a George Opon on the opposite had come to make this statement, the whole Liberia would have been on fire today. Just how it is on fire right now. Okay. So what I agree with you, Liberal, you try to pacify this thing and shoot it in many different ways. Let the ambassador come out with a public statement to make clarification, just how Mr. Johnson came to make clarification about his statement. You must condemn me on this thing here. Why it's true that Joseph Baka must come from Lofa County, equally so, we cannot be making statements that will get the country on fire. He may not do it His followers, trust me, could do it if Oppong wins this election, especially when it says we will not allow it because if. So that means if Oppong even win convincingly, this statement tells me that they will not even accept the result. And the united partisans may get our country on fire based on the statement.
And quickly here, Mali, you know, and look, this is a serious part. This is a serious thing that we are in. I always like to listen to different network. I don't buy into their soundbite. I listen to them and see what I can pick up in terms of what is good for the country. And a veteran who is a former presidential press secretary, Jeremy Appiah, this evening was saying, "Don't think you're doing, and some of your people in the country here, we were able to go after them. Why would you want to? Why make such a statement?" So now they are leaning on the statement of their leaders and other people who is we all are concerned. That's a legitimate concern. Reason why NEC is still holding up to it. I think that's the solution they need to find, and that's the laziness of all the political parties in our country. I don't know what the heck they were doing. What were the conversation? Because it's getting me to be vexed. Why would they sit there? The law said 30 days, right? That roster should be posted. So they were what? Whining, dining, sinking, sleeping. You think that's small? Look, our politicians unwillingness to make a political sacrifice, either they don't want to go to jail or they don't want to be handcuffed. That can happen in Africa. I'm only saying this to say it's like there was no rule of engagement. What were their technical team? Because those are the people that are supposed to take on this thing here. The rule says if for any reason and they are falling back, what NEC is not telling us, they sat down there 14 days. Voter roster is not up. You don't know who registered, who not registered, the total number. We don't know all of that. And then they're sitting down making insinuatory statement.
Before I bring in Terry here, this is what one of the things I found today. In 2017, the Supreme Court ruled that while evidence of fraud that was brought, the evidence of fraud in the October election, which was 17, was insufficient for a rerun. The court, however, ordered the electoral body to clean up the final roll of voter roll, which Councillor Bronsky, who plays tear amount, order clean his initial. Okay, but the thing is, these people already have record at the Supreme Court. That is not good. So if you believe that these people are planning something, stop making the noise now. Not necessarily making, you know, because I listened to Mo Ali today talking about they have investigators, they have their security. These are the people that give these kinds of erroneous information to Ambassador Baka and raise his temperature, raise his emotion.
He not so he feeling well. He's not so the liberal, unstable, unbalanced.
You know, and they go out and make these kinds of stuff. Look how much Anthony Cassidy, a friend of mine, who is much more higher in terms of politics, Liberian politics, and even his educational level, he's going to engage the like of Kalasco, who is just an A to the president. Kalasco cannot tell you all of the members of the PAD to 1970. What was he? He wasn't even around 1979. And you're going to engage him because he threw some words out there that evoke your response emotionally. Unacceptable. And these are the people that are around the ambassador. So these are things that really worry me right now. But Terry, let me hear from you.
Yeah, actually, you know, there is nothing we will say tonight that will make any good impact because people have premeditated to agree to themselves what they want to believe.
That they don't want to hear.
I would not. Yeah, but what Mr. Mali wrote, he altered the ambassador's statement. He did not write his statement word for word. The ambassador said, if you allow them to rig these elections, the country, we don't know what the country will be, the country will fall. And you and I know what that statement really means. So
You can't say that, Terry.
in order for you to say, he said you, he didn't say we. That is where I want you to get that.
Is he not part of you?
I want you to go back to that statement and let it play. Because he said you, if you allow it to be raped, then we don't know what the country is going to, what will happen.
Play that statement, not true.
Because, yeah, that's what he said.
The man said you were not playing.
So the problem here is this.
It's in the newspaper. The newspaper.
He can play it. I don't have a problem with that. He can replay it. You listen to it. And
no, I said
you don't.
All right, let me play. Let me play.
Yeah, play.
That's why you have to protect it. If they think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. And we're not going to allow that to.
Yeah. He said,
if they steal this election, that's the end of it. So, Terry, what we are saying here, what we are saying here, this is not meant to antagonize the ambassador. I personally here, but when you're speaking to a broader people, the understanding, the comprehension of people is different, varies. You have college people there, you have people of different category. But if we listen to some of the other ugly tunes that are coming, that's not what I anticipate. When I go to a function where a presidential candidate is speaking, more or less, I'm going to hear policy. I want to hear policy. I want to hear issue. I want to hear different things. I want to see him to draw the contrast. What this administration is doing that is wrong, and when he becomes president, how he intends to put that into place. That's what I want to hear. So when you speaking to a people, you can't base your argument on the assumption that, oh, this is what the man's saying. No, he said when they steal. So when we know that when somebody steals something, the repercussion, even when they say roll there, the reactions of neighbors, the reactions of bystander, it's going to be very rough. They're going to go to that thief or whoever, a police officer or any law enforcer does not appear. What eventually happened? That person might be killed. So what he's saying there, in as much we try to fix it here, but I think I would say I would put it like in the form of Abbas Bono. It's a slip of tongue. The ambassador can have the opportunity to come by. Hey, look, this is what I meant to be said. But when you leave it like that, now I tell you, you saw what front page, what the president is now saying. Now they are giving in less to make argument, to score point, which is not good for them. They appear to have the momentum. So they need to keep track and be very clear in their message so that that momentum will stay alive. You don't want to do it. Yeah, we are today when we're supposed to be talking about something, but there is a distraction now because he says something. So they're going to reconstruct it. They're going to do any way the one that was in there, they will add up to it so that you provide estimate because you can't let it. You have to do the damage control, and that's what's happening now.
So that is what propagandists do. You know, they look for that statement, if I'm not mistaken, it was made on long time ago. That statement is not a recent statement. That statement was made. Yeah, I know. But what I'm trying to tell you, it was made on one of the campaign trail in Monserrado County. I remember that particular statement. But the problem is, opposition, when they can't find, not opposition, but propagandists of the maybe ruling party or other opposition parties, when they can't find nothing on you, they go back and play your videos or play other things to find some kind of propaganda to run with. And that is why I don't want to give it. But something I wanted to say to Mr. Marley's statement that he said about Ambassador Boga going to Todi, blah, blah, blah. Ambassador Boga did go to Todi. I think Todi district, is the first number one district or two or so. So he went to Todi. He was there, I think, for 1 day or so. And he left from Todi and went to other places. Ambassador Boga visited the 17 districts in Monserrado County. So maybe you didn't follow that. So he have gone there. And right now, Ambassador Boga is in Grand Bassa County. He just left from Grand Bassa County yesterday. So he is engaging rural areas and other places. All right. And to President Weah, somebody said President Weah, if he had made a statement, there have been many statements President Weah have made that people they have not said anything about it.
A
They have let it go.
similar statement like this.
You know,
He said if the election is rigged, the consequence of that facing our people.
Samson too.
You know,
we criticize the president here when the president said that anybody who calls him will now. I still have that tape. We talk about it lengthily. Don't use your microphone to cover your face.
Mr. So even in recent time, President Weah, when he went to Bombay County, he said if the people do, he said he don't care if they choose to vote for him. He don't care. They will not exist. He made that statement. How many people ran with it?
So
he said if the people don't vote for him, they will not exist. The bombing people, if they do vote for him, he don't care about them. He only care about the Weahians and the situation.
So yeah is the question.
And they will not exist.
So is the question. Does he want to be himself, or he wants to be the
Mr. So all I can say to you is that in politics, I believe we the supporters and the admirers should not be at their defense. We should have always been up. But this is what I promise you: before the week is over, CDC will put their foot in their mouth, and I'll be out here yelling and screaming at them. So please, you know who they are. You know who we're talking about. So this is now take it easy on us.
There have been a lot of recent statements. But anyway, yeah, so there have been a lot of recent statements. That President Weah has said how he disarmed Ambassador Boyka and all. And those things were nothing. In fact, most of the things when President Weah say it, none of people don't even highlight it. People don't condemn it. President Weah doing what led to Telia Yue beating in district number 15. President Weah said that lady girl will be up. And when he made that statement, what happened? Just what he said, what happened to Telia Yue?
Okay, that's what we're saying.
District number 15.
That's what we're saying. Voice, you got to be very careful how you deploy your voice. And we talk about all of those things. The liberator knows that. So what we are saying, if Ambassador Boyka is to do, and he don't need to do whatever he did. So he needs to do it differently for people to stop.
Caller Samson told Liberian Public, make it very brief. Make it very brief. Yeah, go ahead. Make it very brief.
No, Terry,
make it brief. But make it brief.
I know. This is breakable. Power.
I know, but make it brief.
I know. I can't be brief, but it's so disturbing me. Let me talk. You know, Terry, we don't want to give it A, but the way you charge me confused. If somebody tell you say the legal will be legal, that's what I mean. It's a threatening war for the country. Somebody that come out and say if I
Samson so call you all.
Compare with Jesus President Weah statement. Even they want to talk about the man, the President Weah went to bomb.
That you don't want can look at people. That you don't want can listen to people's voice, and then you tell them how old they are, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Well, no. I want to beg you because Terry, you gotta be fair. I learned how you started a composition, but you want to turn it around. That's why I get a problem with.
Okay.
But we are now using that statement to say, well, you said when you're not want to vote for me, you're not want to vote for me, you might not vote for me. But you must have booing at somebody, not because you won't vote for me. That's what he said. If you don't want to vote for me, you might vote for me. Because he
didn't say the people will not exist?
No, he never said that. Okay. He said, if you want to play now, I will play on my phone.
No.
He never said that.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to defend somebody, defend a person in a way that you'll be okay. But I like you, the way you started your point, like Jesus Baga, the statement made not correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Andrew, go ahead.
Oh.
Okay, Andrew, hold on 1 minute, please. They on it now. I tell you. Andrew, go ahead.
All right, Mr. So, thank you for defending the truth.
Oh, me? You mean Samson? You say Samson too? Did you say Samson too or Mr. So?
No, Mr. So. Mr. So didn't.
Make it brief. Okay.
I will say this though. Terry, last statement was made.
Oh my goodness.
Compact 3, I think lap. That's why Joseph Barker was making that statement. He made that delicate statement. That's why the program in the Kenya was fully extended, but because I think either in Compa 4 or Compa 3 in lab, that's when he made the statement. But the person you wanted to quote is McGill. It's McGill 2017 that made that similar threat, but it was not word for word like what Mr. Buckeye said, but it was McGill.
That's not McGill, that's the president himself.
Okay.
I can send you the tape. It's McGill. It's McGill. I can send you the tape, and I can send you the Facebook, the page, everything that says McGill. You hear McGill own word for McGill own mouth. So, we can go back and forth, but I can send it to you if you want it. But, you see, we got to be honest. Terry, I admire you a lot. And I appreciate your energy. But as a young and energetic young man, sometimes we got to speak truth to the power. But when we start defending our own and bending the truth, I don't know what kind of change you want to bring. What kind of change you want to bring to Liberia?
Okay.
Because if we can look out, you see that Mr. So is now, I don't know which side he's, Mr. Totally, he said he's a Sidician or whatever, but, he's sometimes he speaks the truth and he balance. Because, we are trying to educate us.
Mr. So is a journalist.
But who am I? Who am I? I'm the real one. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. This guy gonna have a bad night today.
We not supposed to say, we not supposed to invite
Ambrose.
Yeah.
Okay. But y'all know the liberal position. Y'all know the liberal position they want on this network. So it shouldn't be surprised. But we're gonna.
Okay. Ambrose, thank you. Let me take the other.
I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, not problem.
All right.
Not problem.
All right. Caller 7242 number. 7242 last number. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Troll?
Jesus
This is Elvis
Christ.
calling from Minnesota.
Another one. Why, Evan?
Look, hello to the panelists. First thing first, let me just say this. With Prince Johnson's statement, I just want to touch on it. If Prince Johnson won't bring war, they ain't bring war. Prince Johnson got a lot of people that are waiting to get back at him. He got a lot of people that are waiting for him. They're just looking for the opportunity. So let him bring it. He already in his, 60s or late 70s. He got himself so big and better clothes and coat suit. He ain't want to force a steam war. This time around, there's no way to get on ship and carry off children to run away to go to Nigeria. He will face the drum of the war. There's no chance to sit up 14 door. So there won't be 3 wars going on. It'll just be him, mano with other people that are waiting for him. Look, people say George Weah is illiterate. Fine. Joseph Boyka is an educated one, and who can speak eloquent English. Why is everybody trying to interpret it? The man he speak Kisi. He speak Loma, even Bandi. He spoke English. Those of us who have 2 brain cells to rub together, we can infer what he was trying to say. Like Mr. Malik Jones rightly said. And Terry is the biggest disappointment on the show tonight.
Hold on, Evan.
Same things like George Weah said.
Hold on, let me merge this.
Look at that.
Like, President Weah said he will beat Tilly at Europe. Come on, he was talking politically. So Terry, don't make that show tonight.
When President Weah,
don't try to bring outright lies on the platform.
Evan, when our President Weah, hold on. Let me ask you. Can you hear me?
Boyka was wrong on what he said. And there was not being war in that country. Nobody's going to support his war effort.
Can you hear me?
It's like a struggle. Sorry.
Yeah,
never get a man chance.
No, that he ain't get me a chance. They like sedition. When you're calm on my show, you'll give me a little bit chance. Let me engage you. So, Evans, the question is, our President we should gain political latitude, but Ambassador Baka no latitude. What is? But anyway, you people got me tonight. Like I said, in politics, we're not supposed to be defending, but I will give it to you. But one thing I know about your sedition. Before the weekend over, you'll put your phone in your mouth, and I'll be all over here again.
No problem. But let me make my last comment. It's like a small boy who everybody was bullying him before, and then he causing a big causing account for the interior. I know that somebody that can hold muscle or he will start acting frisky on the other train now, beating because you know you got a cousin behind. So same boy got know you got Prince Johnson, you got boy naked behind. You feel like you got muscle, so you can make all kind of exciting statements and expect those people to protect you. That's the crux of the matter. I'll leave it at Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
please
Liberal,
leave
Mr.
it because
Liberal.
you're
Thank you
going
for
somewhere
taking me.
else that
Leave
is
it right
is
there.
not okay. All right, item number 9. Hello, how you doing? Item number 9. Any more you're gonna rub it in? Item number 9. Aaron Bradford, you're on. Why is he not
Yes, I'm
hearing me?
on. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? I can hear you now. I have my phone on mute.
Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? I've been listening to the entire show. And this is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk too much. You see, the opposition been running with this thing for a long time. It's not just, Omer Barker's statement or Prince Johnson's statement. They started from the censor. Okay? They started complaining from the censors. And, all of you guys that have the platforms, okay, these medias to educate the Liberian people, we didn't even do justice to the whole situation. Okay, the Spoon Network, the Closing Argument, the LPR Radio, the Focus on Africa, Focus on Liberia, you name it. Everybody had a spin to this particular census where it came up that the government were trying to cheat. Okay, so this is not something that Omer Boaka just started today. This was something that the Unity Party been planning. The Unity Party even going to the extent talking about 2017 election was rigged. How can an opposition break election from an incumbent? You was the vice president for 12 years. Okay? I mean, look, all I can say, one person don't have monopoly over violence. Prince Johnson then did what he could do back then in the days. The same way they have supporters, President, we have got supporters too. If it calls for us to push backslash, extra backslash in this country and support President, we have enough forces, we will do that. So when the election result come out, when we lose, we will go. When they lose, they better go. Because if they try any nonsense in Liberia, we all will be there. I'm from Salmon County, and I will be there the same way they from Nima County, they will be there. I'm just saying, okay? Because this is stuff.
But what Sando County have to do with it?
Because Mr. Tor, let me say something. You come on this. I mean, when you guys on this platform, when somebody does wrong, you need to tell them they do wrong. I listen to Terry try to spin their thing. President Waka,
President Waka, yeah.
The man said if they try to cheat in the election, that will be the end of Liberia. You know, I mean, what kind of leader will make such a comment? After your surrogate, then passing all over the place, making comment about cheating. Okay. I mean, we talked about this thing a few days ago when Mr. Soul was having a show. Other people were there trying to claim that they're more intellectual than other people and stuff like that. When it comes to Wincy DJ, then we're not educated. All the other opposition people educated. We don't mind that. But all the war, drum your beating, war. One person cannot fight war. Okay? Everybody can fight war. Everybody go out to war, go to fight war. So when people come and be talking all this nonsense, Mr. Baka cannot do nothing to nobody in Liberia. When he lose the election, he will go back to rehab and sit down in a house, or he will leave the country. We don't care. If we lose the election, we will do the same. So let's get it. I mean, we need peace in our country. We got our family in our country. We'll not let nobody jeopardize the peace in our country.
All
not
right.
for no nonsense.
Okay.
The game started, you already complaining the refugee. What kind of thing is that?
All right. Okay, thank
that's
you.
what I got to say.
Thank you. Again, folks, Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Let me go back to my guys, and let's start with Terry. Terry, what do you make of the colors? All the seditions coming here tonight. Because everyone that called it all sedition.
Yeah, obviously we expect that to happen. The other guy said President Weah
I
didn't
want your
say
level, eh?
that, President Weah did not say
Very
that
calm.
he would beat Teddy Ayure, and it did happen to Teddy Ayure. So obviously they are not following. But all in all, that is what it is. And Aaron, I know you are going to come on me because specifically he always come on me. But my brother and friend, Liberia is for every one of us. We were all devastated by the war. And I would say this, war is never
Caller,
a
could you
good thing.
please lower your monitor, please? Go ahead, Terry.
War is never a good thing. There is no small war. And nobody should think that when you start war, it's just going to end within a few months.
Yeah, hold on.
No.
I'll bring you in. Just hold on.
It's
Go
going
ahead,
to
Terry.
escalate. It's going to escalate and it's going to bomb, baby. It's going to increase. It's going to spread. And you don't know how long it's going to take before it finish. All right? And there are other people that make money out of war too. So, nobody is trying to
Caller,
provoke
hold
war.
on, Terry.
Ambassador
Caller, could you
Boyka,
please lower your monitor? Because we're hearing the noise in the background. Go ahead, Terry. Finish up, then I will bring you in.
Ambassador Boyka have never involved himself into war at all.
I know.
2017, when he lost the elections, he was willing to let it go. You
That's
talk
good.
about, how will you be in opposition? And you think we don't know that Madam Ellen Johnson said he brought you on board?
That's
when,
true.
When she was doing the groundbreaking for Lofa Road, instead of her bringing her VP that she knew was in the race, she brought President Weah, like to say,
That's
she
true. I
knew
got
that
it.
President
I
Weah
got
was
a
going to win
picture
the
to
election.
show. That's true.
So all those things we know. But the puppet went, he tried to court, and it didn't work out in his way. He left it quietly. He's not a war man. He's not a man of violence.
I
So that's
agree.
what the liberal said. The statement from Ambassador Boyka does not represent him. That means the way people interpreting it does not represent him. But yeah,
I agree. Let me bring the caller in. Caller, go ahead, make a statement, then I can go back to Mr. So and Mali to wrap it for us. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Sorry, good
That's
evening.
okay. That's okay.
This is Short on Duo. I'm calling you from Minnesota this evening.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on your show for the first time. And let me appreciate all the panelists. Those are the things that we enjoy this time around to have a diverse view.
Thank
But
you.
to the issue, I think sometimes a thing you call common sense had to be applied here. Ambassador Boyka's statement, if you look at it carefully, you will get to know that. For me, I don't see any problem wrong with it because this thing, the men were clear. When you do this, that's what will happen. So why is sedition or CDC just running with it?
I tell you, you got 2 more minutes. You got plenty of time. Go ahead.
You are giving.
At least I guess somebody to help me.
That when you do this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any intention of breaking election, then why should you worry?
I know.
All right. So I think the way they crying all around here, it tells some of us that they have different motive or they have an intent to break the election that coming. So I think it's not something ought to be holding, putting here. Look, before I rest my case or before I end for this matter, let's say this. When you look at some official or CDC, those guys make a regular statement during 2017, 2011 campaign. You see, like somebody like Akara Gray. I can remember.
Yeah. And I see people that are carrying casket around here.
Those are the people who said they will make Liberia ungovernable to Manaseli if they intend to regulation.
I remember.
Somebody just make a statement, they just flying all around here. But again, brother, like I said, those are all political rhetoric because we are following this election carefully. They win a blowing on the side of Ambassador Boyka. So those guys, they are loose grip already. So the only thing they want to do is to, when somebody makes small statement, they want to make it a PLA, a big statement. Those are the statements they have been making before. But I just want to appreciate all of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you too. You're the first time caller.
Yeah.
That's why we're giving you all the time. And because you're the first time, please call another time because I think, the fact that you're the first caller, first time caller, usually when people come out here, first time we try to show them our appreciation and we're giving you all this time here. But thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. All of
you more than Bill Cunningham tonight. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but wait a minute, call him back and give him my phone. Not working right now. Alfonso, please let me take this last caller here.
My phone not working right now.
Oh, you're listening to me?
Alfonso, please let me
Look,
lower your monitor. Lower your monitor. Lower your monitor. Lower your monitor.
I think lower already.
Okay, go ahead. What's your point?
Look, I hate when I see people comparing to 2017 or 2011 election with CDC.
That what you call back for? That what you call back for?
Yeah, that what I call that for. Because can you accept all those things that happen to CDC to put Monu or in jail, Koji or in jail? Even down to all those people that.
So why are you bringing all those things back now for?
Because that's what I'm saying. You're gonna get comparison. If you give me comparison, you're gonna take the other thing and put.
Well, I thought you called already and made your point, and we said fine. So why are you coming back again to do what now? So every time anybody call and make their point, you will come back to respond. And you don't want to say when somebody talk. So the person that was talking, how old you think that person? Because you said you can listen to somebody's voice and you tell them how old they are. How old you think that person was?
The line is breaking in.
Yeah, okay, the line good now. How did you listen to that person? How old you think that person was?
Jesus.
Okay. All right, your line breaking in.
Yeah, man. Line is breaking in.
No, I can hear you. It's not my fault. I'm asking you a question, your line breaking in because you that one thing about your sedition when people ask you.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yes, correct.
Okay, you got 2 seconds.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Yeah, but let me ask you, the man that just spoke. You say when you listen to people's voice, you can tell how old they are. How old you think that man was?
You see, one thing, other lecture again. I want to see if I want to do 1 minute point for my point. That man I just spoke. That man I just spoke. For the 5 for the 6 around it.
Oh.
For the 5 for the 6. But let me be fair to you.
Yeah, but make it brief.
When people say they see, they not be fair to themselves. See. The party down on the party headquarters, even down to West Point. Somebody died for the CDC people. They also
the people sedition blame for that. Was it not Eugene Nambwe they blame for that?
Yeah, not the one you was saying you know about it.
Yeah, but where is Eugene Nambwe now? Where is Eugene Nambwe right now? You're gonna bring. So why you bring it up for? Why you bring it up for?
That was Unity Party regime.
Yeah, but you brought in somebody dead. You see, that's what y'all do. You brought in somebody dead. But I'm telling you, I'm asking you now, the person who sedition blame for the person death, was it not Eugene Nambwe?
Where is Fagon? Where is Fagon now? Where is Fagon?
Okay.
So
let me bring in Mr. So.
Okay. So that understand that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The guy, they brokeable guy is something else. Mr. So, Mr. George, are you here or you're not here?
He's struggling back there with his.
We only got 5 minutes. So by the time you finish setting up your conservative camera, the time will be over. You want me to bring you in now? Put your thumb up if you're ready. I don't see the hand up your. I mean, you're not ready yet. It's going again.
Yeah, he
Mr. So, go ahead. When he comes out, I will give him at least 5 minutes of his time. Go ahead.
Well, this is a clear justification. People that are defending it. I mean, it's not a strange thing. I've always said it here. Everybody tries to protect his or her own alligator. And it's common for politicians to make these sort of reckless statements in my context. We have seen that over and over, even here in the West, it does happen, and they can pay the price for it. We saw prior to the January 6th, Giuliani, all of these people, I mean, they are always, including the sitting president, the former president, all of that. So they made those mistakes. But for the most part, what is different with those in the West, sometimes they take responsibility of their statement. They have that courage, that conviction, and come to say, hey, we are sorry. If I was one of those in the close proximity of the vice president, I will kind of like use one of those days within the last minute of time to show strength, to show courage, to show his preparedness, to show his ability as the big guy who, a diplomat, former vice president, to maybe expand and say, look, I meant to say X, Y, Z. But I can tell you, if it remains like this, and his spokespersons, if they don't want to, if they can't add it, it will not go away, because it will be seen as a good point to distract his message. And trust me, you have to provide, and that's why media love, because they will continue to push it, and you will have to provide explanation. This is not what you want to do in this injured and strappy times of such a consequential process. You want to make sure your message is sharp, is on point, concise, and be able to attract people to you, not to drive people away. So for Terry to kind of defend that here, which of course is not a surprise, and you always told me I'm this person, I'm that person. You more than shown hand in the air tonight, because this person's tone was in your direction. It favors you. You came here. We have a tradition here. First time caller, we gave you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you were cheering up. That's been very dishonest, Mr. Toll. And you still try to fix it here, but it is what it is. And I just said my part. I think I personally believe that's White Ambassador Boyka would not call people, but that language that Mali said, there are other people who supporting, who also builds in their war, in their minds of war, that if this the cheat, I think by George is ready now. So maybe
Mr. Judge, if you're ready, put your thumb. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Hopefully, I think we'll focus on the issue. We have 14 days to go. I'm concerned with this voter roll, which is the gateway to the entire process. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go to Malice. No, Malice, hold on. Let me bring Mr. George in. Mr. George, go ahead. Caller, just hold on 1 minute. We'll bring you in.
Mali Collins,
Okay.
Mr. So, how you doing? Look,
Yeah.
I do not have any record of most Ambassador Boyka involved in violence, but I have questioned his decision making. This is what they say on campaign: stay on message. Jot down what you're going to speak, because sometimes if you don't do it, the crowd can carry you, and you will say something that you did not intend to say at that time. This is what happened. All that Tabata Samson told calling you're talking is Tabata. The man's statement was very clear. You can play it and listen to it. It was very clear that the country will go down. It was very clear. You can't connect it. He was very precise to say that.
Mr. George, can I give this caller 1 minute, please?
Sure,
and I'll come
sure,
right back to you.
Go ahead.
Okay, please. Caller, you're going to be the last one. Go ahead and make your point 1 minute, please. I can bring my colleagues to close it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Mr. Toll, Samson Toll.
You're welcome.
This is the global chairman, Teddy Tell Lion Yakon. I'm calling from Fargo, North Dakota. I'm at my job, but it's very important for me to get my take.
Global chair for what?
Reason why?
Global chair for what?
Well, I'm the global chair for 3 vibrant accelerates in the CDC that are working very hard, more than many of the accelerates.
CDC.
District number 1, 30 district number 1.
So wait a minute. You say you CDC global chair. What happened? What happened to? What happened to? What's his name? Hassan.
Hassan is now a chairman. I am a global chairman for 3 groups, vibrant groups, media response group.
Because when they brought Hassan all here the other day, they say he was a global chair.
Get chance to the man. Let him introduce his title.
Well,
that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
But the fact is that there's not for job.
Okay.
I was saying that I said that I am a global chairman.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling, Mr. Chairman. Go ahead.
Auxiliaries, one in Nima County, the most important and vibrant one that really giving the Senator Johnson hard time is the Territory Lion group like in Nima.
Okay.
And I got one in Grand Creek County, my hometown, and district number 130 district.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Moserado County. Yeah. Well, you know, I would call on the show to let the people know that I know we have Terry in the studio. I've been given the privilege to be in our studio, to be, you know, coming up with kind of a defense for opposition lapses during the past of like 12 years in power, all their wrongdoings. But we have military is crafting propaganda to defend.
30 seconds.
To defend Joseph Boakai. You cannot dress Joseph Boakai in the white coat suit because Joseph Boakai, he has been treated because of the failed TRC that made some people were not added on the list. Here's one of the reasons why our peace, you know, mission have been stuck somewhere. But what I'm saying is that you cannot deny the fact that Ben Ayure admitted the fact that Joseph Boakai was chairman for the Lofa Defense Force.
But we have to relitigate that again, my brother. Can you come on with? But we have a subject matter. We have a subject. No, we have a subject matter. We have a subject matter that we're discussing. Of course, you have the right to discuss whatever you want to discuss. But if you start veering up, then I think the privilege of me giving you extra meaning perhaps might be taken away.
No, because right now it's a cent in the gallery for you and Joseph Boakai.
Okay. 30 seconds.
Joseph Boakai, you cannot exonerate him. You cannot take his hands from around rebel activities.
Okay,
and making such a remark the few days is scary like great people. And then you have it butt naked, Prince Johnson, all those people, they are gravitating to Joseph Boakai because they know that they're Joseph Boakai of the sea shoe.
Okay, thank you very much. You'll be the last caller. Thank you very much. We appreciate it tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Buffalo. Thank you. I will respect.
Yeah. Mr. George, I apologize strongly from taking you from your point. But go ahead. We have to give these people the opportunity to express themselves. They watch us and we appreciate them. But go ahead, make a point, Mr. George.
Yes, what I was saying, you people don't work for the campaign. And it's difficult for you people to defend the campaign.
But we're not defending the campaign. We're just making our point.
I've been following you.
We're making our point. We're allowed to do that.
Listen, making your points, you can defend something, and that's what you people doing here. You're seeing that his statement did not mean what he said. This is what he was saying. But how can you people defend that? How do you know? The statement the man made was very clear. Very clear. Maybe you didn't listen to it. But I play it over and over. I even dropped it today in the chat room. It was very clear. It was very clear. What he said that was completely out of order.
Something to delete it.
What he said there, it was irresponsible and reckless statement he made.
Now, Mr. George. let Mr. George. We're talking about the next president of the Republic of Nigeria.
Samson told, I don't care who you talk about. When it is wrong, I call it as it is. I bet you, if Kumi would have made that statement, you will not be talking this. But that's why I get a good look at it. People who think twice before they talk. That's why Mr. Kumi is very calculated when he's speaking.
Okay.
One was carried away by that cry he saw there. That's what happened.
But then you are also on the same level as we that particular statement
Samson,
does not necessarily
give me a break.
reflect.
Samson told you were talking. Give me a break.
Okay, go
You were
ahead.
carried away. And what they need to do is for the communication people to come out immediately and say, hey, this is what he meant. He didn't mean to
They
say
would
this.
never do it. They would
But
never.
because the people are very arrogant. This is why the arrogant come.
Winner.
Yes,
You're being very condescending to
I'm not condescending. I'm talking the truth.
No,
Because
but
Why are you here for people to say the truth, Samson?
No, we're not going to
It's
say
not
that.
being condescending.
These are your own
See,
brothers
your
and sisters.
support people.
These are your own brothers and sisters, even though they're from the Unity Party. But I think for me to sit here and let you be condescending to my own brothers.
Is that what they call condescending?
I'm not.
Yeah, it was arrogant and all that kinds of description. That's
yes,
so
because
go ahead.
They do something and they don't have the guts to come back and say, no one, this is not what was.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Don't conclude.
Hold on. I'm on it. Why you don't want me to speak? This is the problem with you.
Okay, all right.
You be doing all the tabata, you and Colin been doing all the tabata. Now people I cannot push back and say, oh no, it's not over. It's been 24 hours, no response. And this is the habit of Ambassador Boakai and his team. They adapt these techniques, these tactics. When they say something, say, don't come out there, just remain. After 2 days, it will die down. This is it. Because there's a pattern here. Prince Johnson has been speaking, and I've been on the platform every time. I said, this man endorses Prince Johnson. When Prince Johnson says something reckless and irresponsible, Boakai would not come out to condemn it. Nor Jeremiah Kun would, none of them come out to condemn it. They remain like that silence. And now it has come from Boakai's mouth. Now this one came from his mouth now. What you expect the Liberian people to say? I'm in the opposition. This is why I said the other day, and Kerry was jumping all around, wanted to fall in the park. When I said, if I was someone who had a scene in one of the campaign, I would cut the clip again and play in the Southeast. Play that clip that the country will come down. I will play in Grand Depot, in Maryland, play in Sano, play in Nima County, play in Lofa. That is jingle I will play. This is the man who said he want to become president.
Mr. George, remember we're running on time here.
Hey, you're running on time now because you know why I hate you people.
Pajoy. The executive director grant more time.
Wait, Mr. So, they're not director. This is the liberal is running the show. You can't come out here and throw your weight around. Mr. George, you got 2 seconds. Go ahead.
So,
no, that's an extension. Management will pay extension.
No. We're not going to go through that. Go ahead. You got 2 seconds.
All the point in the other oppositions. Cut that clip of Jeremiah going back. Talking about the people saying the Nigerian father.
Oh my goodness.
Cut this clip, put it in the contest at jingle. That's what they need to do.
You said who, Jeremiah?
Jeremiah Kun said they were saying the Nigerian father.
Mr. So, why are you asking that question? You knew about it.
The deeper people are interested in justice. Look, I remember when I was in Buchanan, they used to bring children from Nima in trailer. Over 200-300 children. Put them down at the police station. And people go there and pay $5 Liberian or $1 coin at a time for each of those children. Most of the children don't know their parents.
Is that a tip?
Yeah, that's a tip.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mali, go ahead. Go ahead. Give us your closing. I don't know what side you're on, but I know what side you're on. But go ahead, give your closing. I tell you what. Tomorrow night it's going to be different. Go ahead, give your closing.
Well, I don't know whether we are beginning to run the platform on the basis of a severe pushback because we are disenchanted with other people's utterances. But anyway, here is my point. And this go to Terry, Mr. Collins, and Mr. Toll. You people keep saying when we are say this, people don't take it and run away with it. We, public opinion, have already classified Joe Weah to be in the deplorable. Already. And they have already classified Omer Boakai to be that successful, responsible, acceptable replacement.
That's right.
So we expect a vast difference in
So he
utterances.
shouldn't make no mistakes here.
Not even an iota of error.
Is that right?
In your utterance, because you are the replacement of the deplorable. So we expect you to be a statement. We expect you are the icon. You are the apple of Jehovah right now. You are the elderly statement.
Amen.
Okay? And if you go down into record, Joseph Boakai is the oldest president among all the presidents in 1847, next to Joseph Jingin Rawa, who was 71. You can check that out. So, as an elderly statement, we don't want for your utterance to be accompanied with he have been treading a very fine line, but it's like he now trying to show us some of his hidden part.
Mali.
You see? So what his name? Like Emma George said, you cannot speak for the campaign. You see, you can only speculate. But what I see here is that you people have been very disingenuous to Joseph Boakai and the issue. In a more you support this man, when it's wrong, it's wrong. We can all come back to fix it. Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you.
So you guys will have to admit before we shut down this platform tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Terry, close it so I can close it and we'll all go
No,
home.
I get my question out. Mr.
Is Terry.
I'm sorry that.
No, go okay. Here is the danger, and this is why when politicians when they make careless mistake, there's a newspaper now, Informer. You see what they're coming up with. This is as dated as way by 207. Some of the things. So this is how people keeps record, and this is how it distract and derail your campaign. They got to be careful. You don't want to make mistake nowadays. That's not the time. So he needs to come out to fix it.
It's not
you can't have
over
your vice
yet,
president.
Mr.
You can't have your vice president.
It's not over
that
yet. It's not over yet. Ambassador Boakai is the most sensible person in the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah,
He's going to be the father.
You guys not even making that statement.
Jesus.
You guys not even making that statement.
Let me finish my statement. But
you
can
have
I
making
my statement? Can I make my statement?
No, Samson, you don't insult Liberians. Mr. Boakai is not the most sensible people in Liberia.
Are deceiving
this is the
Joseph
same
Boakai.
this is the same thing I'm talking about.
It's my opinion. I'm allowed. I'm
an insult.
No, it's not. So if you express your opinion on here, and which I don't agree with,
it's not true. Your opinion is not true. I'm just trying to push back.
That's fine. That's fine. You can disagree with it, but don't classify it.
Mr. Toad, Mr. Toad, this is not your opinion. This is a definitive stand.
You see that you insist it.
No, you are calling. You are calling. Have not. You are calling. Have not accepted.
No. Told you the other day you said no.
This is a definitive stand. You are taking a stand.
Let me go to Terry. Terry, go ahead and make a statement. So
you got to admit that this man made a wrong statement. You got to admit.
No, you can't let. We will not do that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mali.
Terry, go ahead.
We are not going to, I'm not, maybe the Labour can, but I'm not going to succumb to you compelling me to apologize.
No, you can't accept your
But for me, the way I understand the statement is not the way you understand. You can't force me to understand the statement the way you understand it.
So the statement is not wrong.
Mali, let him make a statement. Mali, could you please let a man make a statement? Go ahead, Terry.
Have you seen all the statements that President we are made in the newspaper?
Don't compare yourself. President we are is a deplorable.
He's not a deplorable.
Hold on, Terry. Hold on,
Terry. The president for Liberia.
Terry, can you hear me? Terry, can you hear me?
I didn't know that.
Terry, can you hear me?
Oh,
Mali.
yeah, I can hear you.
Let's
Mali.
do it one. Let's do it one at a
Mali,
time.
let him. I don't want to pack all three of you in the garage
Terry,
right now.
come in.
Mali,
Come
let
in.
him make a statement. I don't
No,
want
no,
to
let
put
him
you back.
come here and make his statement.
Okay, Terry, make it quiet. Make a
You
statement.
can't bully me to succumb to what you want for me to do. I'm not going to do that because I'm not a late kid. I understood Ambassador Boycott from a different perspective. If you say you understood it this way and want to follow in with the propaganda, it's up to you. That's your choice. This is the political season. Obviously, anybody who is in the political season will try to twist people or statements to please themselves. It's obvious. I don't care about that. What I understood from Ambassador Boycott is that if the Liberian people allow these elections to be rigged, because there are already signs on the wall that is projecting that there's a possibility that the election could be tampered with. So he's saying it clearly that if you allow this thing to happen, then Liberia is going to fall. Because we're already seeing it falling already before our very eyes. You see drug coming in the country, $150 million drug dealers walking out of the country with impunity. Every morning you wake up, you hear say drugs is flying through your airport. You losing credibility internationally. Your passports are being sold on the market internationally. Then you're telling us that we should say, oh no, you know, and no, this is a real life issue. If this election goes the other way around, obviously Liberia is going to go down. Internationally, you are lost reputation. There are a lot of our Liberians that are going to the embassy in Liberia and they cannot get visa because you don't have credibility. Even Liberians in America, their cases are being delayed because you're losing credibility internationally. Then you want us to come and pamper this thing? We are at a desperate crossroad. This is not a time to come pamper anything. The old man said it and said it rightly, and I support his statement. And I have no regret to support it, and I will not revoke anything. Neither will I say, oh yeah, you know, you were supposed to say it this way, and you were supposed to say it this way, and you were supposed to say it this way. He spoke like a diplomat, and he spoke it in the right language.
Okay.
That I expect it to resonate with the people. So, Pat George, it's up to you. The way you want to take it is up to you. Because there is nothing about Ambassador Boycott. The only person I will listen to on the platform that Mr. Mali and Mr. So. Because Mr. So among us here is the only journalist. He's more balanced. Every time I come on the platform, Mr. So is more balanced.
What's about me, Terry?
No, what I mean, you already side. You got a side. You already got a side. The only two people that don't have a side, that Mr. Mali. I will listen to Mr. Mali a little bit, but the statement he said that we should apologize and all of that, I'm not going to do that. You understand? I'm not going to do that. But Mr. Mali is balanced, so I will accept it.
Okay, thank you, guys. We're way above time here, so let's meet tomorrow. Mr. George, we have to come in early so that we'll be able to carry this on. Terry, thank you. Mr. George, thank you. Mr. So, thank you. Mali, thank you guys very much for making it, because I thought from the beginning, I thought I was going to be the only one here tonight doing my tabata. In fact, if you listen to the first 5-10 minutes of the show, I was blaming you guys. Where were you guys and stuff? But for you to show up tonight, you guys make my day. Thank you very much.
Mr. Toll,
yes.
I got a little advice for you. You're turning the platform into a systemic conservative platform where conservative where people liberty is being curtailed. I mean, you're making it more conservative now than liberal.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mali, you're quite correct, and I've said this over and over. I don't know where he come from with this being a liberal.
I think we need to take a stand.
If you can take all the stand you want now.
But before we go, our prayers and thoughts. I think you guys saw the images coming from Liberia today. The house that got on fire from Conway.
In Jatoba murder.
Yeah, it's a sad situation.
Who is that?
Injured about more than
About
five people got killed,
yeah,
burned to
5
death.
got
Who's
killed
injured
today.
too? But I don't even know that
The
person.
girl that they killed, but Reverend getting something.
Yeah.
Oh, the girl that
No,
was killed in that store?
No,
store.
there was a girl that was killed in her house. They said she fell and she died. One Reverend Giddens was involved in that case and just went zigzag.
Oh, okay.
So hold on one
Mr.
second.
Cole,
Hold on one second here. Let me
there's
talk
a
to
breaking
one of
news
our
here that
followers.
UP clarified
Lawrence,
Barca's end of country statement.
let me
Maybe
talk.
we'll discuss it
Malice,
tomorrow. Ali, they're
let me
doing
say this
something
here.
about that.
Yeah.
1 second here, Mr. To. Let me say this here. Lawrence, we valued your time, every minute and every second, and every other person always on this network here. I don't think walking away will not help. I think it's better to listen to these diverse views, in as much you might not agree with
Let
it.
me put Lauren
And
here,
this is
please.
why I'm talking to my friend and brother. I'm not talking to you.
Okay,
So,
well, after you finish, I'll talk to him. When you finish, I'll tell him what to do.
not to see you.
He
Lauren,
can go.
don't mind it. Don't mind
Lauren,
it.
just come
We
on.
always
When I'm on, don't
put
come
everybody
on.
in check here. If anybody do it the wrong way, trust me, and that's why you saw coming here. So it's not something to walk away. We need you. We need every other person on this network here to make sure that so whether they fake, I'm not going to judge that, but what we say, we always try to discuss it here. They took their side, and we are there to balance it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Let me make my tabata here, and then I can go. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Malice. Thank you, Mr. So. Terry, thank you guys very much, and I'll say good night to all of you guys. Again, folks, Samson told Labrador Public Radio, if you come here, we will, and I will leave the CEO on so he can hear me. If you come in here, what's his name? Lawrence, you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye. We're not going to, I'm not here for kumbaya here. I'm not going to be here for friendship. If you don't want to, if you want to hear what you think you want to hear, go on a platform. This platform then is not for you because we're here, as you can see, he's the CEO. And he and I, we've been at it back and forth. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. So if you think you're gonna come here and then you because of you,
When you start fussing with,
me, you're gonna bamboozle me to come your way. Please, this is not your platform. If Mr. So comes on, you can come on. Other than that, you can block yourself. That's fine with me. If anybody don't want what I say, and I will continue to say, I must be truthful with myself and my God. So you coming here and threatening, it don't move me a bit because I'm not here for kumbaya and I'm not here for friendship. All right. So if you take your time to watch us, we're here to debate. We're here to not to agree on a lot of stuff, and that's what we do here. Sometimes get heated here. Sometimes get heated. Sometimes, and you would think we'll not even speak to each other anymore. But at the end of the day, we're here to do a work. And we're going to do it. So by you coming here,
you know what I'm going to do Wednesday?
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So you want to try thing? You can go ahead and leave. Thank you.
You know what I'm going to do on Wednesday?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm going to make Elena and Lawrence a call so they will tell you that you put your foot in your mouth tonight.
Okay. No, the other lady when she calls, she said, but she doesn't try thing. You know, no threat. Don't.
Try to say it doesn't apply if you say he doesn't want to see.
He doesn't even have to say it.
That is right.
Okay,
it doesn't want you to make an argument with him. We need everybody here.
I'm just telling him I don't have to accept his a considered threat, and it's not good for me. And that's why you're the CEO. I'm saying the right before.
Is it going to cause a physical harm to you?
The threat doesn't necessarily have to be physical.
I mean, if anything that appears to be a harm, danger.
What he's trying to do here is to bamboozle me to accept his ideas because he doesn't agree with me, and therefore
your ideologies are dangerous for the state.
Well, that's what makes me the liberal. Okay, thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you so much, the liberal. Right. Bye bye.
Again, folks, Samson told Labron Pabrito, we're here again. Where you coming by? Okay, folks, I want to thank all of you again tonight. To be honest with you, it was not a good night for me. I'm being very truthful.
What is that? Bye-bye.
Where are you coming back yet? No, folks, not a very serious note. I think if we in these kinds of stuff, to be on the defense is not a good thing. The statement, if Ambassador Bakai have had these tendencies of making the regular statement from time to time, I'll be the first to condemn it, and I'll be the first to push back. But this is not who he is. So the only thing that I can do, since I wasn't there, I have not been able to talk to him. I never talked to him. They don't even know me anyway. But since I do not have the opportunity to talk to him, what I can't take from past experience, and I told you I got a lot of video of him here. What I can't take is, okay, this is not who he is. So then what happened? The only thing that I can attribute to that comment, I would say emotional. Get carried away, like Mr. Joyce said, get carried away by the crowd. But violent, I don't see it. I don't see it. But I'm hoping that they will try to, just like Prince Johnson, when Mali and that push back on Prince Johnson, and the whole world now turn around, start pushing back on him. I hope that Ambassador Bakr and his people will come back and explain. When you make mistake or something happen and you say, I'm sorry or whatever, it make you stronger. It doesn't make you weak. And that's the difference between Ambassador Bakr and President Weah. President Weah and his people, they will not take ownership of their wrong. And so I hope that Ambassador Bakr, even if he does not apologize, he doesn't need to, because he has not done anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. However, as a person who is intending to be the father of the nation, not the father of Unity Party, but father of the nation, including sedition, to make that kind of statement, even if you believe on a CDC government that things will be worse than what they are now, that kind of explanation have to be explicit. Not with the term used where many people that are now on the same level, many of us are now on the same level as you are, Ambassador Barker. You are highly educated. Those are kinds of language you use among your peers, the PhD and stuff. They will understand it because they will go through the context and they will go through the entire sentence, how the sentence was structured, which word come before what. And based on that, they will make the analysis. But many of us don't have that kinds of experience. Many of us don't have that kind of ability to analyze effectively. And therefore, some of us will take it and try to mago it. So I will hope that Unity Party and Ambassador Bakr will come back and speak our language. Because I don't see Ambassador Bakr being a warmonger, somebody who's beating war drum. With that, folks, I will say thanks to all of you. With that, folks, Samson to Labra Public. And all I can say here tonight is this. Why tonight is not that of a great evening, it's just a matter of time. Before the week is over, CDC will put their foot in their mouth. And all of you here coming here, making all these comments about me, you will come here and they'll start eating crow one by one. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Folks, no, on a very serious note, I want to thank all of you. You don't have to agree with me. The fact that you have taken time to watch is a sign of respect. And I appreciate it. Truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's meet again tomorrow and do the same thing. Tomorrow we'll find another subject matter and carry on with. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Good night, folks.
Yanga molimo na miteki ikamona salite bakopata ngasa mokichasa mobimba bakotongoka kombo na ngai ekomako lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga Atula te ope na zanga te ya mobali oya kokanga na makambo maso na lingaka na ye lelo na lopango na bino mpona yebisa yo oyebisa baninga na yo banda lelo kosukisa na kombo nanga ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa ezali mobali na yo azali mwa serie soki aye kotala yo mosala na ye kotala basi nyonso ya kartie na bilongi mpe kopepapepa bandeko botalelanga bana yanga molimo na miteki likambo nasali te bakopatanga sango kinshasa mobimba bakotongonga kombo na ngai ekomango lisolo ya bato soki bakolia po batongoko bafingaka nsima basambwisanga